We grew 6 legume species: red clover, crimson clover, hairy vetch, Austrian winter pea, cow pea, and sun hemp. Cover crops in the legume family are the only cover crops capable of fixing atmospheric nitrogen into their tissues, so their growth is not limited by soil nitrogen. As a result, legumes tend to have the lowest carbon to nitrogen ratios and highest concentrations of nitrogen in their tissues, and are therefore the best cover crops for increasing nitrogen fertility for the following cash crop. But the high tissue nitrogen concentrations of legumes make them poor candidates for reducing nitrogen leaching. Red clover is a workhorse of the Northeast. It's a biennial to wheat perennial, so you can probably only get 3 years out of it. Frost seeding is a common strategy to establish this cover crop in February or March. Red clover can also be planted from April through September. Red clover has a slower fall growth than crimson clover, which has more of an annual habit. Therefore, this slow-growing cover crop benefits from a nurse crop. Frost seeding into winter wheat is a perfect synergy. Red clover is an excellent nitrogen fixer. Crimson clover is the most widely planted winter annual legume in the United States, but since it's not reliably winter hardy in New York, it's not so common here. Crimson clover is an annual and it has fast fall growth, but it doesn't have as much nitrogen fixation and root production as either hairy vetch or red clover. Plant by September 1st. Hairy vetch is the best choice for a winter hardy annual legume in New York State, and it's been found to be one of the best nitrogen fixers amongst the legumes. It's slow to establish and also likes to climb with its viney architecture, so it's often planted with a nurse crop, such as oats. Some organic wheat growers aren't interested in hairy vetch because some of its seed that's planted doesn't germinate right away, which is termed hard seed. Additionally, hairy vetch seed is very similar in weight to wheat seed, so it's extremely difficult to sort. Austrian winter pea is another winter annual legume that is not reliably winter hardy. It's a great candidate to be planted on organic operations because winter will provide the cover crop termination. Field peas, which are similar, can be planted in spring and are often mixed with oats. Cowpea, also known as black-eyed peas, is not actually a true pea, but rather a bean. It's a summer annual and drought tolerant. Although cowpea is a large seeded crop, research has indicated that it may be a poor weed suppressor in the Northeast due to slow growth rates. It's much more common in the southern states and can have a deep taproot. Sun hemp is a fast-growing, drought-tolerant summer tropical legume that needs heat, has a planting date from mid-June through mid-July, and is able to produce substantial biomass and able to kill some soil-borne diseases and nematodes. Its seed has become much more available recently. Next up is forage radish, or as it's known, tillage radish. It's the most widely planted winter annual brassica cover crop in the United States, and it's not winter hardy in the Northeast. In New York, forage radish needs to be planted by early September at the latest. One thing that is unique about brassicas compared to grasses and legumes is that they are non-mycorrhizal. Mycorrhizal fungi help the plant access immobile nutrients in the soil in exchange for plant sugars. So it's thought that the very fine roots, much finer than in grasses or legume species, is an adaptation to having no mycorrhizal fungi. These very fine absorptive roots are likely why this cover crop is very responsive to high soil nitrogen and a great nitrogen scavenger. Radish offers very rapid fall growth and great weed suppression. The radish taproot increases infiltration and helps break up subsoil compaction. Radish and other brassicas have been shown to be better at breaking up subsoil compaction compared to most grasses and legumes. Radish and brassica roots are especially gravitropic, meaning that they will try to grow vertically down into the subsoil no matter the obstacle. Additionally, in contrast to grasses, brassica roots undergo secondary growth, which is the widening of the roots, which is another important way these roots break up compaction. The radish root decomposes and disappears over winter, leaving the empty holes that the radish occupied the season before.